Wanna grab a copy of the Steambird? We know our Fontanian friends love a little drama. There's no way they let, isn't that Charlotte? And standing next to her, surely that can't be Kaniche?
How about... Lost treasure resurfaces at last. Behold the beauty of the Remurian teacup. Pretty shocking. But it still feels like it's missing something. Ah, got it! Udex gravely wounded in shocking stabbing. Set to miss cross-border smuggling trial.
Huh? What? Did Paimon hear that right? Neuvillette was stabbed and gravely wounded? No, surely that can't be right. Can it?
Hey there, you two. Fancy running into you here.
Yeah, that, and also a less than pleasant shock. What the heck was all that about a Saurian meat restaurant and the Udex getting stabbed? Please say you weren't being serious. Trading tabloid headlines?
Yeah. Charlotte and I were having a little contest to see who could find the most ridiculous fake news stories. Either I got lucky, or I have a knack for honing in on the most outrageous material. If I had to quantify it, I'd say about 1% of what they write is the truth.
Huh? Him? Lenient? Oh, you gotta be kidding! Ah!
Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to give credit to these so-called news stories for occasionally including a grain of truth. All I'm saying is, even the wildest leaps of the human imagination are always rooted in reality.
You mean all those fake headlines you mentioned actually do have some basis in fact?
Sure they do. For instance, there was in fact a smuggling trial recently. Considering the amount of speculation surrounding the smuggled goods, it's no wonder there are rumors about restaurants serving saurian meat or teacups being unearthed from ancient ruins. But in reality, the goods in question were simply a few ancient relics dug up from ruins in Natlan. Rest assured, no saurians were harmed in the process.
Oh, okay! Paimon was so busy freaking out about those headlines that she totally forgot to ask why you're here in Fontaine, Kaniche.
It was a pretty open and shut case, and my testimony in court was clear enough. But I'm guessing, Mademoiselle Charlotte, that you're less interested in the case than you are in trying to uncover some news stories about Natlan. I appreciate your kind invitation, but like I said, storytelling isn't really my forte.
Kaniche the speechless! Kaniche the tongue-tied! Huh?
If you're dead set on doing an interview, why not talk to the Traveler instead?
Charlotte never stops, does she? Anyway, Paimon, just have to ask. That owl thing that popped out before, or was it a howl? It kind of looked like a howl, but at the same time...
Oh, that thing. Yeah, that was a howl.
Huh? What's up with him? Like, he's still noisy, but he's way quieter than before. It's like he's trying to hide or something.
Could be.
Not acclimatizing? Aw, poor Almighty Dragon Lord is not feeling well.
Too bad he can't come out to argue back.
What do you mean?
There's nothing physically wrong with him. It actually has to do with a strange law we learned about after arriving in Fontaine. Apparently, it's forbidden to release flying objects within Fontaine City limits during the first 3 days of each month.
Paimon sure does! Paimon's been down this road before. There's an easy solution. As long as Kaniche holds onto a how's tail, he'll be considered an Almighty Dragon Lord balloon, not a flying Almighty Dragon Lord.
Not gonna lie, I was considering that. But a How wasn't too thrilled with the idea of huffing and puffing away in the form of a mini helium balloon. That said, it's pretty annoying how he keeps randomly popping up all of a sudden. Anyway, this morning I saw a notice outside the Palais Mermonia about an event that's set to take place outside the city soon. Something to do with filmmaking. I hear that's all the rage here. I was planning to stay here and do some exploring for a few extra days anyway, so I think I'll go check it out. It'll be a good chance to let that noisy helium balloon out. He might even learn a thing or two. If you're free, why don't you come along? I know where it is, so let me lead the way. Looks like I remembered correctly. Here we are.
Wow, this is awesome! Hard to believe it was just an empty beach before.
Yeah, it was still completely deserted only a few days ago when I passed by on my way to testify at the Opera House. There must be some efficient workers in Fontaine. Quite impressive.
A few days? One night was all it took. Rap-a-tap-tap, ta-da! But is this all it takes to blow people away? Oh, no. Given my past experience, I can't let myself get carried away. Well, I can't believe you actually remember me. It's me, Lepine Pauline. That's right, the unlucky one. Of course! How else would we have managed to build Fantasyland in a single night?
Fantasyland?
At least that's how I like to think of it myself. A magical land of fantasy, the stuff of film buffs' dreams. I know it sounds like I'm laying it on thick, but that really is the goal here. As you can see, the theme of this amusement park is Fontainian filmmaking, a place for all film lovers to come together and co-construct a world of dreams.
Co-construct? Well, that's a relief. Sounds like you're sharing the cost this time rather than pouring your entire life savings into a single project.
Nope! I might be inviting others to help fund this, but that doesn't mean I haven't thrown all my life savings into it too!
Huh? You've got to be kidding. Ha! Look at you, puny little humans. Recklessly betting your entire future against some stupid vanity project. If you're expecting even an ounce of sympathy from the Almighty Dragon Lord, dream on! Mockery is all you shall get, straight from the heart!
Sorry, just ignore that little gizmoid. He likes to butt in occasionally. Do go on.
Gizmoid? Who you calling Gizmoid? You're the Gizmoid!
Wow! That's quite a nifty mecha you've got yourself there. Is it some sort of smart personal assistant? You ought to let Miss Charlotte see your cool gadget. Who knows? Maybe you could even look into mass production.
Mass production? Ugh, insolent, vulgar, and disrespectful! I, the almighty Dragon Lord, am one of a kind! There has never been another like me, nor will there ever be! And another thing, smart is the understatement of the century! I shall have you know that I am Kahulahau, forebear of ancient wisdom! I lived for eons long before any of you were born!
What? Heavens above! I beg your pardon, forebear of ancient wisdom. Please, I meant no offense.
Idiot meets idiot.
What's all the fuss? Making some new friends, are we?
Miss Navia! Allow me to introduce the star behind all the work that's gone into this venue. Miss Navia, president of Fontaine Spina- di-Rosula.
Hello, everyone. Partner, Paimon, how have you been lately?
Hello there. I'm Kenichi.
What about me? What about me? My useless servant can't even give me a proper introduction.
You think someone yelling their name out in the middle of a public street really needs an introduction?
He's not wrong. I caught yours just now, in fact. So, you must be the almighty Dragon Lord, Mr. Ahau. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, see that? That's what I call proper manners. Well, it's not every day you meet a well-mannered human. Navia, was it? Excellent. You may address the almighty Dragon Lord by his name. Navia, don't you think the title Almighty Dragon Lord is a bit silly?
It's no big deal. All little animals do that, don't they? I mean, try to puff themselves up to look more impressive.
Anyway, it's all thanks to Miss Navia and the Spina-di-Rosula that Fantasyland's gotten up and running in the space of a single night. Honestly, thank heavens! After all that paperwork and endless waiting, the event and venue finally got the green light. I couldn't wait a moment longer. The second the approval came through, I reached out to President. After all, who else but the Spina-di-Rosula would indulge such impulsive demands?
Sorry, traveler. Miss Lapine Pauline sometimes gets a bit overwhelmed by her own excitement, as you can see. I'm guessing she hasn't gone into much detail about the event yet, so let me fill you in. In short, the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland is a fan convention that's open to film enthusiasts from all over Teyvat. Miss Lapine Pauline is hosting this event and also providing technical support.
Huh? Cheval Moran?
That's right! The one and only Surintendant Cheval Moran! After much persistence and many solicitations, I finally obtained Lady Farina's permission to use the image of her close friend. Not only is our adorable mascot drawing in fans by the minute, but she's also boosting her own popularity. And that was always the goal, a win-win arrangement.
It's been a while since we last met, but still, it's a surprise to hear Lapine Pauline coming out with such sensible ideas. By the way, Miss Lapine Pauline, have you decided to switch careers and go into film tech?
Not exactly. By chance, one of the prototype lenses I developed caught a photographer's eye, and it's now being used for the latest cinematic productions. Thanks to this unexpected opportunity, I've had the chance to invent various film-related equipment and props.
That's right. So don't underestimate Miss Lapine Pauline, our resident engineer. She's the technical powerhouse at the core of this entire event. As for the Spina-di-Rosula, we're mainly here to take care of planning, operations, and management. For anyone feeling inspired to set up a booth, Miss Lapine Pauline and I will provide the necessary technical and operational support once their application has been approved. By the way, traveler, are you at all interested in taking part? It would be a chance for you to earn some extra income. Plus, with your skills, I'm sure you could bring something special to the table.
Paimon would be even more tempted if you were to say, throw in one of those fancy feasts she's seen in those gourmet food reels.
Well, as it happens, that'll be a piece of cake. Everyone needs to eat, whether they be tourists or the stall owners themselves. So thanks to Miss Navia's help, we've managed to invite none other than the celebrity chef, Miss Escoffier, to run our theme restaurant. Look over there!
You! Yes, you! For the last time, the ingredients have to be in the right ratio! Get it right next time, or you might as well just lie down on the chopping board yourself.
She seems a bit busy right now.
Well, I'm sold. I think I'll make a How go be her assistant.
You little... What's your game here?
Demoiselle, sorry to bother you, but there's an issue over here that requires your personal attention.
Apologies. Looks like it's back to work with me. Please feel free to take a gander at what we've got. Anyway, if you're interested in taking part, come find me later.
The fresh vegetables from the new batch are exceptional quality. Greetings. Apologies if you overheard my harsh words just now. The sheer lack of standards here will be the death of me. Do you have any idea of the kind of customers I'm gonna get with how lax things are? The ones that leave their guns behind by accident and then come back to collect them like—
Yeah, that's the kind of customer you wouldn't forget in a hurry.
Oh,
Wait, has that happened before?
no, it's just the mention of guns reminded me. Someone did actually leave their gun nearby.
Huh?
Just before we started setting up, as we were cleaning up the site, someone stumbled upon a mysterious locked box. It didn't look like something from Fontaine, though. It had more of a Natlanese vibe.
Oh?
Do you think a foreign tourist might have left it behind?
That's what I assumed at first. But the box was buried beneath a pile of wooden planks, rocks, and whatnot, so it seemed like someone deliberately hid it there. But I didn't see much point in speculating, so the best thing I could think of was to hand it over to the authorities. I trekked all the way over to the Palais Mermonia just to hand it in. Ugh, it was exhausting.
What did the authorities make of it?
Oh, they made a mountain out of a molehill, as usual. Before even addressing the question of what was actually inside the box, they had several heated discussions about whose responsibility it was to write the lost and found notice. Thankfully, the ever-reliable Officer Sedine stepped up and immediately called in the Marechaussee Phantom to crack the lock and check if there were any dangerous items inside. And, as it turned out, there was a gun.
Wow, that's a dangerous item, all right.
Mind if I ask what kind of gun it was?
Oh yeah, Mr. Kanich, you're from Natlan, aren't you? Do you know a lot about guns?
You could say it comes with the job. I have an interest in weaponry and the like.
Ugh, such a spoiled brat. What, are the toys I gave you not good enough for you anymore?
Yep, got sick of those long ago.
You little... Don't dare you turn your nose up at my gifts! Why
Time for a timeout, old-timer. Sorry, where were we? Oh yeah, do you recall what the gun looked like?
It's a bit hard to describe. If you ask me, it didn't even really look like a gun. Give me a second. I'll knock out a quick sketch. Something like this.
Whoa, it's so neat and precise!
It's nothing. Sorry. Is something wrong with my drawing? I know it doesn't really look like a gun, but I assure you, this is exactly what it looked like. And it certainly could shoot as well, too. I confirmed that with the officer from the Marechaussee Phantom.
No, quite the opposite. The features are very accurate, and it is definitely from Natlan. Please, don't mind me. I'm just taking a moment to admire it.
I should be the one thanking you. Thank you, and everyone else for your support.
Don't mention it. Besides, we haven't really done anything.
Not at all! The buzz and excitement you guys bring is exactly what this event needs! Oh dear, I'm starting to feel a bit guilty watching everyone else toil away. Guess it's about time I got back to work too. But just before I go, one last thing. Traveler, it's wonderful to see you. Here's to a successful collaboration!
I'm sure you noticed that there was something unusual about that gun. Correct. It's most likely an old weapon dug up from some ancient dragon ruins. Based on my experience, it might be more accurate to refer to it as a hand cannon. But in Fontaine terms, it's not wrong to call it a gun. Given why I came here, don't you think it's curious that an ancient dragon relic of unknown origin would turn up like this, out of the blue? I suspect this gun might have something to do with that smuggling case. It might have slipped through the cracks. Time is of the essence, so I'd like to head over to the Palais Mermonia to verify my suspicions. Perfect. Then we can head out right away. Or, if you want to catch up with your friends first, I can wait.
The fresh vegetables from the new batch are exceptional.
Traveler, it's you! Ready to join the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland? It's time, dear partner in Paimon, for us to turn our attention to the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland. As I mentioned, the park was started up by enthusiasts who brought in the speed. Of course, enthusiasts aren't typically all-around experts. They usually stick to designing. We, for our part, handle long-term operations and develop standardized strategy guides for the different activities.
Long-term operations? Strategy? It all sounds so complicated. We spend most of our time adventuring, and we barely have any experience running a stall.
That's more like it. You've seen it all before, haven't you, partner? I'd even go as far as to say you've shaped some of Tevat's biggest business ventures. Anyway, first things first. Let's get an overview of how the whole festival's gonna be run. As you can see, our Fantasyland's a bit like a sugar-free macaron right now. The Spina's only been able to hire a limited number of craftsmen. Besides, that's why I chose to adopt a time slot-based planning method. So, upgrading facilities, expanding the venue, hiring staff. So, it's our job to allocate precious time slots in each business. As we attract more guests and earn money to add to our funds, we'll also be able to work more efficiently, which will allow us to divide each cycle into finer time slots, which will let us.
So we'll be limited in the decisions we can make and tasks we can, which means we have to use our limited actions and Mora to earn even more Mora. Kinda like playing chess or cards then. Paimon thinks she just about gets it. Yep, come on, we can do this. You mentioned standardized
Of course. Film and entertainment mean different things to different people. And if we're not careful, some visitor and others might pick up dangerous To avoid confusion, we need to create a standardized strategy guide for each activity. Just think of it like,
Wow, if we're the first ones to test out the activities, but if we hit a tough spot, we'll just have to rely on our skills to carry us.
hopefully it goes without saying that I'd never put you in danger, partner. I also wanted you to experience the activities before anyone else.
Oh, those are two things Navia is best at.
Great! Well, I can't wait to hear what you think. All right then. Let's start with a Both of you seem even more excited than before. Looks like your first...
Paimon hasn't actually watched that many films, but after trying it out...
Great job, Paimon. That's exactly what our... They'd be beyond delighted to hear that visitors are curious about the films that inspire... Some have even been willing to contribute extra funds out of their own pockets.
Out of their own pocket?
That's right. While the Spina- di-Rosula covers the cost of basic booth materials and rental fees, the cost of the booth itself isn't their main expense. Some of them have... Take our official mascot, Sir Intendant Chevalmoran, for instance. She won second place in the last most pop... Many people have expressed interest in designing cushions based on her image, using the highest quality fabrics and hiring... These cushions will officially go on sale at the next convention alongside lots of similar Don't worry. As Sir Intendant Chevalmoran's guardian and official... After all, the fans are doing this voluntarily. Not for profit, but to promote Sir Intendant The more Mora ends up in Farina's purse, the better
Oh, Paimon likes the sound of that!
Still, we can't just ignore Mora completely. Whether it's fan create, the same logic applies to the Chevalmoran. Once we finish the standardized strategy guides, our attractions can officially be open to the public. But we can't take personal charge of the There's plenty of work to do at the various booths. And there's a recruitment section on the park's bulletin board. We've received many applications, and each candidate has their... Once assigned, the staff will keep the attractions running. Ensure...
Wait, so we've suddenly gone from being playtesters to heads of human resources? That's definitely a first for... Just don't hold everyone up to your own standard. All right, time to review some resumes.
When reviewing resumes,
looks like this particular employee is really getting into their role.
you're both... In any case, with this, running a theme park is a long-term project. We're just about done with our... Well, the numbers might not look that impressive. Building on this momentum, we must consider rolling out to draw in the crowds. I've invited one of She'll be performing right here in the amusement park.
So, is the restaurant part...
The restaurant is up to standard, and the waterside location will make for a unique dining experience. Ingredients, check.
Hey there, Escoffier.
Oh, my employers are here. The president of the Spina-di-Rosula, plus the famous traveler and Paimon.
I'd say that if anyone here was overqualified, it would be the former head...
I'm guessing you want the traveler to help me decide the theme dish for each...
This is the business strategy I mentioned earlier. Using Escoffier's top-tier dish... But this isn't just about attracting visitors. Her culinary masterpieces will surely have other surprising effects. Just imagine, Paimon, if all you needed was a single ticket to enjoy all the...
Now, here's the twist. To get the most out of this strategy, the menu can't be made public. Based on research by a certain food branding consultant, many restaurants have started... So give me some inspiration every few business cycles, and I'll decide... Now then, give me your hand. A war. Your hands are calloused from wielding your sword. But still... A sword, then. The theme this time shall be strength. All right, let's find out what I've refine the sauce for these barbecue ribs. It's a rich, the mint extract in the seasoning leaves a refreshing but if you ask me, I'd say the artisans need.
The art.
As I'm sure you've noticed, this park isn't quite finished. As their bosses, you have an obligation to, who knows, the morale boost might even.
Oh? If I recall correctly, you once served up some for several days after. The workers were all incredibly efficient. They'd finish 8 hours of work in just 5.
Then there's no time to lose. Go invite the art.
That's a great idea! You really live. Looks like these themed dishes are gonna make a huge The artisans are pumped and ready to roll thanks to that themed dish.
And perfect timing, too. Let's take this chance to take the facilities of our eclectic Now that everything's...
That unique aroma. I wonder how you'll inspire my... All right, then. I'll just go with the flow.
We should be able to attract.
That's right. Based on my business experience with the an attraction will reach its ideal revenue only when its service value meets. When that happens, we can deploy more capable employees or invest. Whew, that should be everything.
Huh? Thinking about it, we have learned quite.
Oh, not at all. I wouldn't say I taught. I imagine long-term operations sounded, but don't let that scare you. Just break things down into small.
Whoa, seeing our own progress has really got Paimon fired up! From here on out, we'll be running.
you've got this. Ugh, I can't wait to see how it'll all turn out. How
Know of any new orchestral pieces? I like to swap out the background music in the kitchen. Once in a while, it's a great way to find new inspiration. An important part of cooking is making sure the ingredients absorb the flavors in the dish. To that end, a chef must be able to wield a knife with the same level of precision as a surgeon. Practice makes perfect.
Whoa, is that our hero, the Traveler? And Paimon, too! Oh, I guess I shouldn't be too surprised. Mrs. Coiffier already told me, but when I saw you just now, I forgot my...
Tactically speaking, the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland doesn't... Isn't it the idea that everyone works together to make it as success... But, wait a sec. Why are you here, Veressa?
Well, officially, I'm here to promote my... Not long ago, Mrs. Coiffier placed an order for her restaurant, as she often... In her letter, she mentioned that showcasing my orchard's products at the festival would boost sales and help build my brand recognition. After talking it through with my parents, now that I'm done with the restaurant's ingredient order, I plan to sell the rest of my fruit directly to...
The thought of enjoying fresh fruit from Natland here in Fontaine does sound pretty appealing. But with this many customers, wouldn't it be exhausting to watch the stall all day?
Huh? Am I supposed to be watching the stall the whole... There's an attraction over there called Movie Masterpieces, right? I heard some of the challenges are based on famous films. Some of those films have even been adapted into great comics. I'd love to...
So, you're not doing any business?
Back in the Collective of Plenty, I'd just set up a sign with the fruit prices, place a weighing scale and a coin jar. When closing time came around, I'd wake up and check the accounts. Not a...
To be fair, that does sound nice. Collective of Plenty are a law-abiding bunch. No one would even think Fontanian customers are no doubt trustworthy too, but... Plus, if you just leave the stall unattended as a Natlanese...
In that case, I'd better start acting the part. But I'll need to buy some things in the city before I officially open for business. I promised to bring back some Fontanian clockwork mecha for Kochi-san. Oh, and I also wanted to try a few rounds of movie masterpieces.
We might not be locals, but we've...
In that case, give me a moment to get some extra fruit, a price list, and my coin jar set. I get to go shopping with the...
Know of any new orchestral pieces? Swap out the background music in the kitchen once in a while. It's a great way to find new inspiration.
Hello, boss. I'm from the Collective of Plenty.
Wait a sec. Why does Ion-san need clockwork mecha?
Nothing like that. Our coach just wants to She mentioned something about a rowing machine to focus on back. The parts that connect the ropes and weight plates wear out easily, but they need to be strong. So Coach Ion-san...
It all sounds so technical. When did fitness turn into some kind...
To be honest, I don't really get all the details either. But if it works out, I'll be sure to and if it doesn't, we can always stick to the good old method. If you're interested, I can show you a few beginner exercises the next time you drop by. You'll be able to smash the records without even breaking a sweat. I know it.
Paimon will pass on that one. She'll be...
You can always try the equipment we keep for little Saurians, Paimon. As long as weight training's for everyone, you know. As long as you put in the effort and keep it. Fast I can run. Have a blast. Then come back, calm down. My fruit stall.
That's right. Last thing you'd want is to get too absorbed in having fun. Funnily enough, Paimon can think of someone else with a bad habit of getting so into things that...
No need to worry about me, guys. I do a lot of long-distance running, so I always...
Woohoo! That was How was it? Did you get through all the levels?
It was amazing! Nat, I'll focus on doing business this time round, but if there's ever another event like this, please let me know as...
Yep. You know what? We should let you design the levels. Paimon
That would be great. Anyway, back to business. Time to focus on my fruit stall. I'm gonna make a name.
Oh, your encouragement leaves Paimon feeling even... But now they've got films to watch. Even the ones who used to cause trouble might settle... We have our very own animal-themed area, by the way. We call it Mellow... Oh, you mean we could invite Sea... Now that you mention it, that sounds like a great idea. Yeah, like someone who gives advice and tells the workload won't be too heavy, but it's important work. With Siegeween on board, Mellow Manor's gonna be... Forget health issues. Paimon wouldn't be surprised if she...
Oh, wait, head nurse, please don't go. One of the inmates has become obsessed with those magical mouse munchies from the animated films you've been showing. He ended up giving himself food poisoning.
Sejuani sure has it tough. Not only does she have to worry about... Why don't we prepare something Is it because they aren't paying any attention when they're watching? Or is it some rebellious mentality?
Even
Us? Wait, but... All of them? That's some serious dedication right there. Paimon had no idea Lenny was so into horror films. Well, that's a side of Lenny we've never seen before. Don't even think about... Sounds like eclectic escapades would be more to your liking then. Want to give it a try? Is that really that entertaining? Still, if you're interested in the attraction, why not become a consultant? That way you'd get to see more of the visitors' reactions too! Great idea! If we can get Lenny on board, the Cheval Moran film I've been waiting for you for... I see everything.
Yeah, I'll do my best, but
Dia? Paimon didn't expect to see you here either! Guess that's not scenery most Fontanians see every day, huh? Wait, aren't fight scenes supposed to be as realistic as possible? Surely the more punches that land, the better.
A word of advice.
Delighted to hear that you've been enjoying yourself, but I need to concentrate on this film for now. Those animal assistants will have to wait. I just need a little more sleep. Every time I close my eyes, I keep thinking of new tricks. So...
That's right, Lenny. A change of pace should stop your mind from wandering.
Wait. In that case, count me in. Not just for my own sake, of course, but to support my friends. Just give me a moment to freshen up.
Sounds good! Getting Lenny to cheer up and visit...
Hey there, I'm Aoife, a Sorrow vet from the Flower Feather Clan. You've probably heard some things about me already, but it's all good. Whatever impression you have of me, I say let's wipe the slate clean and just get to know each other. Oh yeah, then there's this little dude. That's Kakuku, my assistant. Sorrow vet in a different sense of the word, I guess. I hope the two of you will get along.
Nice to meet you, bro!
Here's to a safe journey.
Ah, they both delicious. But how come you seem so familiar with this bar when it's your first time here? Paimon's never even heard of the drinks you ordered us. Where do we begin? Literally everything that's happened has been pretty incredible. Huh? So we could become mercs too? That actually makes a lot of sense. When you think about it, it's not all that different from adventure commissions. Who knows? Maybe we'll find jobs where we can help a lot of people while also bringing in a nice chunk of Mora. Wouldn't hurt to build connections with Dia's.
Thanks for inviting me to come down, you two. I must say, I feel like a new man after visiting the park and seeing all those adorable animals. Seems like Lynette has her eye on some great potential animal assistants, too. Oh, and did you see those weird mushrooms? Can we take home a few of those as well?
That might not be possible. These fungi have been specially trained, you know? They're like the... are you sure about that?
I feel so much. The other two attractions were great too. In fact, they've given me an...
You're so quick, Dia! Everyone agreed just like that! Guess that means we're now official partners of the Blazing Beast! Hooah! Watch out, world! There's a couple of new mercs on the scene! Maybe Paimon should give herself a proper mercenary name. It's a deal!
Huh? Huh?
Why, hello. You were so bright. I could have taken you for an opera singer in full.
Farina, you're finally here!
Thank you. I am just as thrilled to be here as you are to have me. More seriously, I'm not the star this time. That honestly, when I was first asked to approve the plans, I never imagined that the Cheval Moran Film Fantasyland would expand to this.
Yeah! Thinking back to when we first arrived, It really has all come together in no time.
At this rate, who knows? Someday it could become as iconic as the Fontanalia film. And I've suggested to several renowned directors that we award you the title in contrast to the Farina Award, which is more of a public honor. This title is a mark of true
Wow, even you
Come now, no need for any of that. Speaking of which, I've actually been preparing a little survey. How about we randomly select some visitors?
Did Paimon hear that right? Farina
Well, given that it bears the name of my dear friend Surintendant Cheval Moran, isn't it only natural that I conduct a bit of research on her behalf? Besides, the more famous a star becomes, the more important it is to stay in touch with reality, no? Plus, it's amazing how much you learn just by listening to other people's take on films.
Paimon always assumed celebrities just get their assistants to handle everything for them. But it sounds like it's actually pretty hard work. Then again, maybe Farina's just an outlier.
Most things in life aren't one and... Soon as you're rested up, let's make a move.
good to go. Now, let's take a stroll nearby and randomly pick.
These suggestions are surprisingly detailed. Choosing film prototypes, recreating the scene cutting process, budget management for costumes, makeup, and set design? Oh, Paimon's head is spinning. Why is everyone so professional? Also, nearly every single person we spoke to said they wanted to see Lady Farina perform. Your popularity is off the charts!
To tell you the truth, any star worth their salt, when I take center stage, all the spotlights are on me. And rightly so. But so, instead of performing myself, I prefer to support you from behind the scenes. Perhaps—
Hey, that's right! Movie masterpieces and—
Oh, wonderful! Then I shall give this role my— Once I've had a moment to prepare, we can meet up for a slice of gâteau from my pâtissier.
Huh?
ever considered starring in your own film? I can see.
As it happens, I'm already doing something similar. A brand consultant has been filming my
Oh, no. No. A documentary won't do.
Before you finalize it, please, let me review the-
Great! It's settled then. And actually, I think I'd like to bring in the Traveler.
No problem! That said, now that we've been granted Director Farina's approval, we'll really have to step up our game.
Excellent! I believe. The Gateau. I'll start drafting the script on the side while serving as the. A truly great adaptation must capture a film's core themes. The 3 attractions are certainly all up to enhance our film's aesthetic. I'd recommend a few
Huh?